everyone, and welcome to another Glimesh team meeting. For this greeting today, I actually extended my hands outward, but no one saw it, so just wanted to share that. We are meeting today as our regular Tuesday meeting. We actually missed last week's meeting. We called it off kind of at the last minute to make sure that our priorities were straight, so we could do this phase 2 roadmap reveal. And so that'll be kind of the major surprise of this meeting tonight. We're going to be talking about phase 2 for Glimesh, what exactly it's going to entail, some things to kind of expect going into this. It's going to be features that help us, but also features that help you. We're going to be working on things that we can actually accomplish given the people and the time and the resources and the money that we have. So I think everyone's going to find something that they kind of appeal to, and everyone's going to be pretty happy, but there are going to be stuff that is left out, that's not included. It doesn't mean that we're not going to ever make it. It just means that it's not going to be part of phase 2, or at least not going to be part of phase 2 until you make it happen. So without further ado, let me just remind everyone, if you are in chat or you are in voice or you are on text or you show up anywhere on the screen, that your text and or voice could appear on stream. If you don't consent to that, please don't talk or text. Let's get started. All right. So as always, we're going to cover kind of the metrics for the last week. Now, in this case, we're covering 2 weeks of metrics because we missed last week, so we're going to have both of them. Although it doesn't really make much of a difference. They actually kind of look like 1 week of metrics anyway, because of the growth that we're having, which is pretty small at the moment. Discord die. Oh, Discord's dead. Okay, well, you can hear me still, right? Okay. All right, well, I'll just keep talking. So Discord's down. That's good. But hey, guess what? Glimesh works. We're not seeing a huge amount of growth on social media. We haven't been posting very much, and we don't have very many events going on right now. So I think that's to be expected. It's something that I really like to see us really start to work on in the future. We're starting to kind of reevaluate our events system and trying to have more of a focus on community events. So hopefully we can talk more about that soon, but it's kind of still up in the air at the moment. But on a user's perspective, we went up by about 1,000 new users, and then MRR is down by about $980. So MRR being down is definitely not a good thing, but I do want to preface it with our usage across the site is not going up. So, we're getting new users, but we're not exactly growing the number of streams or the number of people who are using the site every day. And so right now we're going down on kind of activity, if you will, by about 30%. And the revenue, the MRR, is only going down 10%. So I'm saying that because that's really a good thing. It's bad that revenue is going down. It's bad that our viewership is going down. But our expenses are not increasing while our revenue goes down. They're kind of decreasing together. So we're still, making money off of this. We're still not having to pay out of our own pocket. We're still, going to be sustainable, but we do need to figure out that kind of growth piece and really start pushing that again before we can start feeling comfortable. So I'm going to move over to the next slide then. So the next one is traffic. As I said last time, this is 2 weeks of data. So in reality, the 33,000 unique viewers, unique visitors is actually more like 16,000 per week. So that would be 16,000 a week. We had 18,000 the previous week. So we are still down on traffic across the board. And on Twitter, we're down on tweets, impressions, visits, and mentions. The tweets part is kind of up to us. We need to make sure that we're still tweeting, we're still engaging on Twitter, and that's something that we're going to continue to do. But hopefully when we start tweeting again, we can actually start to push those metrics back up. And it does look like Discord's fixed now, if anyone wants to refresh. But either way, I'll keep going here on Glimesh. So bandwidth still looks exactly the same. We are seeing less streams overall, but we are seeing consistent people come back every night and have a great stream. We're seeing people, of course, still have some technical issues, but they are able to at least have a consistent stream for most of the time. And it looks like the viewership that those streamers have are continuing to come back for them as well. All right, on the next slide, we talk about financials. I feel like I'm going a little fast, so I'll slow down a little bit. On the financials perspective, like I mentioned before, we are down 1,000 on the MRR perspective. That means, MRR is the monthly recurring revenue. That's how many people are subscribed to the platform and the channels at any given time. Last month, we had right around $10,000 of MRR. We've decreased to about 8,500. Some of that's to be expected, but really the problem that we're having right now is kind of growth. We need to really start growing the company and make sure that we're continuing to get new viewers on the platform, that we're continuing to get new streamers on the platform, and that when they try us out, that they're sticking around and coming back the next day. We do have a lot of people who come by, check Glimesh out, and then don't come by again. That's, we need to work on that engagement piece. And then we also need to work on outreach. We're not tweeting a lot, we're not Instagramming a lot, we're not Facebooking a lot, and we're also not emailing people a lot. We have the the newsletter that we could be sending out, and we need to focus on that. But I would say that this constant decline of growth is not a good thing. We need to start. We can go. We can be slow and still grow, and that's okay. But the slower, the slowed down growth is what kind of is making it hard to, continue to actually encourage people to check out the site and use the site because, a very common criticism we have is there's just not enough viewers to go around. There's just not enough people watching streams to make it worth it. So I did want to cover that. I also put together a partial budget of kind of the month so far. This includes 18 days into the month of April. As a reminder, we do this to make sure that the subscriptions we have pay for the servers that we have. We want to continue to make sure we're sustainable, we're doing this correctly. So we want the subscriptions that you all so generously have purchased. We want those to actually pay directly to the servers. So that's what we're doing here. You can see kind of this is the gross income, which is $6,890 so far this month. And then we've paid out almost about $2,000. As of tomorrow, it'll be about $2,000 this month. And then the company's left with about $3,500 in revenue. Then we look at our expenses, which is, for the most part, our DigitalOcean servers, which is what all the video goes through. And our total expenses is $1,379 on DigitalOcean as of the 20th or the 18th, I guess, which is really good because last month that was already about $2,000, maybe even $3,000. So we've definitely cut our server usage in half since last month, and our bandwidth overages are not as expensive anymore because we're not going over on the bandwidth. Now that's due in part to the less number of streamers on the platform, but that's also in part due to some server resizing and optimizations we did last month just to make sure that we're not spending too much on servers. So you can imagine we've got DigitalOcean credits. If we weren't taking those credits into consideration, if they didn't exist at all, we would have about $2,000 in profit so far this month. In reality, we actually have about $3,500 in profit this month. As a reminder, profit, we use that as just a word that's, revenue minus expenses. We don't actually profit any of this money. I don't deposit it into my bank account. I don't spend it. What we use it for is we use it to build up that Glimesh war chest to keep growing the company, to keep existing. And in the near-term future, we're going to use it on, advertisements, on sponsorships, anything we can do to get people on the platform. All right. So next up is new features. As I'm sure almost all of you know, I would hope. Actually, if anyone doesn't know this, please just say that in chat real quick. I'm curious who doesn't know we have a new homepage. We have a new homepage. So up until this point, the homepage was just kind of what we used for alpha, which was focusing specifically on like new users who are coming on the platform, kind of answering questions that they would have. The new homepage, though, is focused on new audiences that are going to visit the site, see content on it. And one of the things we realized was going to our homepage, the old homepage, there was no idea. We had you had no idea what we actually did. You had no idea what Glimesh actually was. We didn't say the word streaming site or live streams, kind of anywhere in the first page of content or so. So we've kind of reorganized that. This homepage is really the starter of what we're going to continue to grow and have. Right at the very top, we mentioned very clearly, hey, we're a live streaming platform. We talk about the number of users on the platform. We talk about kind of our mission and our goals. And then right under that, we actually show off up to six randomly selected streamers who are on the platform. Now, there's a criteria that you have to meet. It is pretty simple. The first one is you have to be opted in. So this is not, we will not put you on the homepage against your consent. If you don't want to be there, you don't have to be there. You don't need that pressure. So the first thing you have to do is opt in. The second thing you have to do is be live. So you have to have streamed on Glimesh for at least 10 hours. We do the 10 hours because we want to make sure that you're actually using the platform, that you're not some kind of nefarious character, and Discord crashed again. And hopefully that you're a good fit for our homepage. This third qualification is that you're live for at least 15 minutes in that particular stream, or we don't want to show you because you're probably still on your you're going live soon stream. And then the last qualification is that there's been no kind of disciplinary actions against your account. That's just to make sure that if you are caught violating the terms of service or the rules of conduct, that will invalidate your opportunity to be on the homepage. Now, I think in the future we'll look, at actually putting that against offenses, maybe having some kind of decay, so you're not forever barred from the homepage. But for now, if you break the rules, you're gonna lose your spot on the homepage. So we keep up to six streams, live on the homepage for a full hour. Even if your stream goes offline or you have issues, as soon as you go live again, you will be back on the homepage. And then right now, all categories have a fair and equal chance of being on the homepage. Maybe in the future, one thing we would do is always ensure that there's at least one type of a particular stream on the homepage. So, we'd have that education stream, we'd have a tech stream, we'd have an IRL stream, we'd have a music stream, you'd have all the different categories. That way a new audience member could actually see, hey, there's more than just gaming here, and then hopefully be able to find the right thing for them. And the last thing we did at the very bottom was add some quick links to some of the categories. That way, if you're on mobile or you missed it in the header, you can find a stream that you're interested in basically immediately. All right, so that's the homepage. If you need to opt in, it's on your stream settings page. So you got to go to your stream settings page, which is under settings, channel settings, and then at the very bottom, you'll see the opt-in along with the qualifications. The biggest thing that hits people is you have to be live for at least 15 minutes, but the script that selects a new random set of streams only happens every hour. So, you have to kind of fit that window to be able to be eligible. All right. I'm going to keep moving. So the next new feature we rolled out was kind of more on our end, but I think everyone will like it as well. We actually rolled out a new blog. Now, we had an existing blog, and it was mostly fine, but it was kind of home-built. It was built internally, and it was basically the most bare minimum code we needed to get the blog out into the world, and it really wasn't a bad thing. It's not bad to write your own blog software, but we're really here to build a streaming site, not blogging software. And so because of that, we didn't have very many features on the blog. We didn't really have easy social media links. We didn't have the ability for other content, for other writers, for other team members to actually write content on the site. So we actually switched over the blog to a new platform. It has all the existing posts. It has a pretty similar layout, but one of the things we're going to do with this new blog is really allow our team to post more posts, things that are helpful for everyone or helpful for a specific audience. And then we'll be able to use those posts to kind of kickstart our content marketing campaign. So, one of the things we could write about is how to configure OBS stream overlays, right? And then we can push that out to social media, and then eventually Google can pick that up and actually show that blog on Google or whatever other site. So this will kind of help us grow as well. It's also super fast to load, and since it's isolated from our main site, if there's ever an attack on the blog or something goes wrong with the blog, it's not going to impact the main site, which is a good thing. All right, the other new features is, and these were actually all added by the community or by members of the open source project. We added a new API endpoint that allows you to count the number of followers and count the number of following, which is the inverse of that. And you can also immediately get following relations. So if you want to see who all I follow, you can do that via the API now quite easily. We also added the ability to delete individual chat messages. So this does require a new permission if you're a moderator, but streamers will be able to immediately delete any chat messages, and it will only delete the message that you select. If you do need to time someone out because they're spamming a ton of messages, make sure you still time them out. That way it deletes all of their messages. But if you need to snipe one of them, you can do that. We also added an API endpoint for that delete chat message, so you can actually have your bots do that as well. That way, if they post a link and they're not supposed to, you can delete the one chat message instead of their entire history. And then the last feature is we actually did add the ability to show your total channel hours on stream settings. I'm kind of iffy on this feature. I don't know, people are going to find out how many hours they've streamed either way. We're not putting the channel hours here, so you can, I guess, we added this metric to hopefully empower the homepage and to show that, you have to stream for 10 hours and you can see how far away you are from it. We don't want to put goals in place that require a certain amount of activity every month or every week. We're not here to force our schedule on you. Don't think that the channel hours, just because we're showing that, means that we're going to start looking at that for anything. That's really just to do that initial qualification for the homepage. And then once you're past that, you're good to go. We may do similar things in the future where you had to stream at least X amount of time first, just to make sure you're, vibing with our terms of service at first. But we really want to kind of stray away from anything that, makes anything that we could potentially use to make some not so nice features. So that's kind of the gray area there. Okay, and then we have, so Discord's totally broken for me, so I can't actually let anyone else speak. Let me refresh real quick just to make sure. Yeah, the metric is as accurate as it can be. It's your start and end time added up. The thing is, if you leave your stream live for an hour before you go live and an hour after you go live, we would of course count that hour in, or those 2 hours in. But it should be as accurate as it can be. Puff and pass, that's really not the approach that we've taken. Via the API and via actually visiting the page, you can actually see, follows, following. You can see the number of chat messages that have been sent. You can see all of the streams that the user has done and the length of them. Most of the data that can be scraped for is open by default. That way you don't have to scrape. Now, we're going to continue to tweak that over time, but so far most of our data has been public. So Discord is loading, but I don't think it's actually working. Yeah, mine's working now. I'm assuming it's regional though, so it's not an issue. Or so it's an issue randomly. I'm gonna go ahead and cover the business development slides then, since we can't have any guest speakers. So then the next slide is business development wins updates. We have a biz dev team internally who's responsible for reaching out to other companies and other groups to do partnerships, to actually have engaging partnerships with them. Hopefully something that provides both them value, us value, and you value. The biz dev team, has been having a lot of conversations with some other companies. Right now they are scheduling talks with more and more companies to help promote their services and product offerings. People like Streamloots, people like Restream, people like Streamlabs. We're reaching out to all these folks to try and get some synergy between us. Now they don't all respond appropriately. They're not all interested in a partnership, but we're willing to talk to anyone. We're willing to hear anyone's story, but we do want to make sure that they kind of fit into our guidelines, right? Our brand guidelines, what we're interested in doing, the kind of culture we're interested in building, but then also, if they'll actually talk to us or not. So, and then they actually have a couple of calls scheduled this week and next to actually talk more in depth on those partnerships. And then if you run another company, or if you know of another company or brand or whatever it is out there who would like to work with others, we'd love to talk with them. So make sure you hit us up, tell us about them, and we'll reach out to them. You guys don't all work in the same building? No, there's nope. We are all separate. We're like 8 people and some walnuts, basically. That's what we have. Why don't y'all say that at the same time? What the heck? MJ just works in the basement, but Ember lives in the basement. There's 18 hamsters running the primary power supply. There's no cats. I'm deathly allergic to cats. Not deathly, right below deathly. Whatever the, I've got 25 minutes before my throat closes up and I die. I realize if I just sit here on this slide, it'll just kind of tease everyone up for the whole meeting. I wonder how long I can go before we start to drop viewers.
That's what I'm leaving.
All right, there's one.
I'm going to stay with you until the end.
I did think, so actually maybe what we should do, since everyone was so distracted by Discord and they missed all of the good wins that we had, maybe we should just go over them all again.
Yeah, let's just start over.
Yeah, let's just start over. We'll just do that.
Go back, first slide, let's go.
All right, hello everyone and welcome to the Glimesh team meeting. Just kidding. Don't do that. Nobody said, wow, delete chat messages. I've been waiting for that for so long. You know what they said? They said, wow, can we delete our own chat messages, please? Thanks.
Yeah, nobody was happy with my new feature.
Yeah.
I should just remove it, clone. I think I should just revert the...
We'll just roll back any feature that doesn't get at least 25 praises in the first day.
We actually track the usage of it, and the metrics are too low. So we're going to have to deprecate it.
And by deprecate it, we're just going to actually make it randomly delete chat messages. So you'll click to delete on my message, and it'll just delete Paco's message. Okay, so let's do this. So next up, we are going to present the phase 2 alpha roadmap. Before we get into this, I've got a couple of warnings for you. The first warning is that this is not going to happen overnight. We're volunteers working on volunteer time. We have many critical parties that we need to interact with, that we need to work with to get these things done. It's going to take time. That's the first one. We're not going to give deadlines. We're not going to give schedules on when it's going to happen. We're just going to tell you that it's the thing that we're working on. We'll continue to be as transparent as possible and show you, proof and progress every single week. And we do it live in dev channels and business channels and product channels. But these things are going to take time. We're going to give it to you as soon as we can to help test it and get it out there. But please be patient with us. The second thing is I forgot, so I'm just going to talk until I remember what it was. The second thing is these features are kind of large-scale epics, if you will. They're larger, things that we're working on, and the intricacies of these items could actually change over time. We could change exactly how the feature works. We could learn of a better way of doing it. We could actually decide to scrap it and not do it at all. That's something that we're gonna, reserve the right to do. So these things could change. Now, it is pretty unlikely that they would, but I do want to warn everyone. So it's going to take some time. Things could change. We're going to learn more about these features. We're going to, actually do research, do prototypes, and then push them out. That's it. Oh, okay. So now I actually get into the speech. So now is my speech time. So like we've been talking about this entire team meeting, I would say the problem that we've been having since we launched is just continuing to kind of gather that momentum that we need to succeed and continue having that momentum kind of push us into the future of Glimesh. As I'm sure many of you are streamers, you know that it's incredibly hard to stream when you don't have people watching. That's not really, it's not your fault. That's not our fault. It's kind of just things that we have to work through. But it can be frustrating, and the same thing happens when you're a company as well. Now we don't have zero people, using the platform. We have a lot of people using the platform, and I'm extremely appreciative of all of you for being here. But to not see growth and progress can be frustrating, and it can cause you to try and figure out better ways of doing things. So what we're focused on in phase 2 is really starting to bring that growth to the platform. We're really trying to actually bring viewership more than anything to the platform. We have a good consistent streaming community. We've got gaming streams that you can watch every night. We're starting to get some consistent art streams and music streams. But what we needed to do next is focus really on that viewership, getting people watching streams, getting people engaged with streams, getting people to come around the next day to watch streams. Those include things like notifications. You have to actually know the stream is live to be there. The other things we actually need to be able to be accessible to more users. You need to be able to view streams on slow internet connections or maybe from your mobile phone. All of these things are going to be important to continue growing the platform, to continue growing our viewership. And so our phase 2 is extremely focused around this idea of growth and viewership. Now, it doesn't mean that at the end of phase 2 we're going to be huge, that we're going to have all of our wildest dreams of growth, but we're going to have everything we need to succeed. We're going to have the features that are required to help make sure streaming is accessible to our users, make sure that things are working correctly, and that they can watch the streams reliably, the important things. So next up, the phase 2 alpha roadmap. So it's this middle column here, just so you don't have to read all the other text. The major thing we're going to be making out of phase 2 is the Glimesh mobile app. And this is an Android and iOS native app for viewing and chatting with streams on the go. So it'll be a way for more and more audiences to discover Glimesh, to find us on the App Store, to see us in a TikTok ad and go download us. It'll be a way to discover new streams to watch. It'll be a way to get notified when the streams that you follow, that you choose, that you opt into, go live. It'll be a way to chat with streams while you're live and on the go. And I think it'll be a really great improvement to our already existing website. Now, I do want to clarify what the mobile app will not do in phase 2 is it will not allow you to stream. You will not be able to stream from it. It won't be focused on that. That's a totally different problem. I'm also going to warn you that phase 2 mobile app is going to be kind of basic. We're going to work on the critical path, the viewing streams, chatting with streams, following streams. And there's some things that we're not going to tackle immediately. We're not going to tackle right off the bat. One of those things that we're not going to tackle immediately is subscribing from your phone. It's something that we definitely want to have, but we also want to figure out a way of doing it that follows, Apple's and Google's terms of service, while also not diluting your cut as a streamer to 20%. We also might not have all of your channel settings on mobile. You may have to actually use your desktop or the mobile website to manage your channel settings. But we're going to give you a great viewer experience. We're going to make it so people can use the app on their devices. It should be a pretty wide range of coverage. Like I said, Android and iOS for most versions. Windows Phone, you can get out of here with that. We don't support BlackBerry, sorry. No other weird mobile devices, but we're going to focus on those 2 platforms. It's something that we've already started developing now. We're kind of learning, what the right framework is, what the right approach is. The app is open source. It's already available on GitHub. It's been live for a couple of weeks now. It is completely unusable. Don't even download it. Don't even try it because it won't even do anything. In fact, in order to log in, you actually have to use your 64-character OAuth token. So it's pretty big barrier to entry. And then, of course, chat doesn't even work yet. So there's definitely a lot more to do there. But as always, it's going to follow all of our ideals as a company. It's going to be open source. It's going to be developed in the open eyes. It's going to be public. All right, so next one is we're going to be working on video improvements for poor networks. So we don't want to clarify this one too much because we actually want to make the right solution. One of the challenges with the mobile app is, FTL uses a lot of data. It needs whatever the streamer is sending out for you to be able to consume and watch that stream on your phone. And that's very difficult on 3G or 4G, or even just for some phones to process. So we want to be able to make sure that your mobile audiences and your audiences with poorer networks can consume video. Now, this doesn't mean transcoding. It's not specifically transcoding. It's not specifically RTMP. We're still kind of early on this one. What we want to do is figure out the right solution. So we are going to be putting some surveys out in the near future that start to learn more about what the solution could look like and what we're going to end up rolling out. It may be as simple as putting the video in an HLS container and we're good because it handles the rest for us. It might be something like we do transcoding, but we do it in a way that preserves the FTL-ness of the video, so it's still pretty low latency. It's just in a lower quality. It's kind of open in the air right now. If this is something that's interesting to you, if you'd love to figure out how video works across poor network devices, I would urge you to come chat with Hayden and Dan. They're super smart dudes who are building video infrastructure from scratch. We're making it all in house because we believe that innovating and continuing to push the industry forward is going to be what makes us unique. Now, I do want to clarify one other thing. For mobile users who are on Wi-Fi, we would still want to offer them the ability to use the full FTL. That way they can get the best latency. So this would just be maybe the default, or maybe for users who are on mobile data connections or something. All right, the next one is we are going to be adding custom channel emotes. So this one as well is still kind of vague. We know we want to have streamers have custom emotes, but one of the things we want to do is we want to make sure that we're actually putting the control in the streamer's hands. So, on other platforms, you have to subscribe to a streamer before you can use their emotes and their channel, and before you can use them across the platform. We want to investigate actually being able to use maybe emotes, at the streamer's configuration, let all of your viewers use emotes on your channel, and then only subscribers use your emotes across the site. Stuff like that. So we want to have kind of an open conversation about what custom channel emotes looks like and how we're going to support it. But we want to make it unique. We want to make it our own thing because we're our own platform. So again, channel emotes are going to happen, but the exact specifications we're going to kind of develop with you over time. The next one is gift subscriptions. So gift subscriptions is important for really two reasons. The first one is to be able to allow, three reasons. The first one is to allow streamers and communities who rely on gift subscriptions to continue to have a viable source of that on Glimesh. So one of the common complaints that we had from streamers who were streaming from Twitch or switching from Twitch was, hey, they could get subs on the platform, but a good chunk of their revenue stream comes from gifted subs, and they don't have an option for that on Glimesh. Well, we want to solve that. We want to help provide that same solution. That way they can be successful on the platform. The second reason is we want to help viewers who have more to give, who have money, who want to spend it on other people, to allow them to be able to gift other people in their community a subscription for a month. And then the third reason is that I forgot. Fuck. Now it's gone. All right, I don't have a third reason. But really, we want to add this feature because it's... The third reason is because adding the ability to do gift subscriptions will allow us to add more payment features that we can use for other features in the future. So one of the things we want to do, for example, is investigate giving away a channel subscription with a Glimesh Gold subscriber package, for example, maybe giving you a free one. We want to look into being able to give random people on the platform subscriptions to be able to re-give to other people. We want to be able to, start treating subscriptions more like a currency to allow you to, enter a contest to win a subscription, or who knows, all sorts of things. And we want to be able to kind of build in the kind of base framework to support that kind of stuff. Not a platform currency, not yet, but this would be, where, you can imagine going into a dark alley and trading, 5 gift subscriptions for, 3 CSGO wins, stuff like that. And then the last one here is rating. After a stream ends on Glimesh, it's a really pivotal moment. There's either one of two things that happen. When a stream ends, the viewers that are watching that stream either leave your stream and leave Glimesh, and they're done. They're off doing something else. They're on another website. They're, browsing Twitter. They're done. Or we can help them find other content to watch. And rating for us really is a way to help encourage people that when a stream is done, hey, keep browsing Glimesh, keep checking out other streams. The streamer you get rated to could be your new favorite streamer. You just haven't found them yet. So we want to add rating to kind of help facilitate that. We need to do some more research into what exactly rating looks like. We also need to talk about the term. Rating is kind of weird. Hopefully we can figure that out. But we do want this functionality to work. Actually, McGlynn brought up a good point. The question was, will we have an option to decline a gift sub? And that is actually a really good question. And I think the way we're going to position our features like gift subs, features like rating, is exactly like the way we would position the homepage, where it's either opt in explicitly or opt out explicitly. So if you don't want to receive gift subs, if you just want to do your own thing, then I imagine it would be in kind of our best interest to allow you to do that. Having that flexibility to control whether or not you have to be, thrusted on that person to be subscribed. And I think that would be a really great idea. The same thing would apply to rating. You may not actually want to receive raids on your channel. So we'll definitely look into that and ask those kind of questions as we're developing these features. I think it's very important for us to do that, and hopefully we'll gain kind of more clarity over time. All right, so that's the phase 2 roadmap. The keyword we're going to be using is viewership. We're here to really kind of open that door to more viewers. Let's get that app created, and then we're going to be working on accessibility to make sure that people can actually watch streams, people who aren't on the best networks, but then also streamers who are not on the best of networks, to being able to make sure that their streams are consistent and reliable. That way they can actually have a good stream. So this is kind of multifaceted as well. And then the 3 bottom features are really about that engagement piece, bringing you into streams, keeping you around for streams, reminding you why you would subscribe, getting you to be able to subscribe to other people. That's kind of what we're focused on for those last 3 pieces, and that engagement piece. All right, that's it. Any thoughts?
I'm excited.
There's a bunch of questions. What we'll probably do is go ahead and end the recording here in a minute, and then we'll answer any kind of questions y'all have. Now, if it's a question about some of these features, the answer may be I don't know. Maybe we don't know yet. We'll definitely be working on these features in real time, so hopefully we'll kind of gain some answers. But this is at the very early stages, so it'll definitely be kind of I'm not sure. All right, so I'm gonna keep moving here, and then we'll come back around. I actually want to talk about clips here in a second. All right, so before we go, we're here to support you. If you have issues with your account, if you have issues streaming, if you have jittering on your stream, if you have problems with your community, if you have people who are harassing you, we are here to help. Reach out to our support team at support@glimesh.tv for any kind of account issues, any issues with that you want to take up with the GCT. If you need to, solve a problem on your own, we have a support site that has all sorts of stuff that can help answer your own questions. And then if you can't find your answer somewhere else, come and ask in Discord. We've got a questions channel that can help answer any common questions you have. We have a bugs channel where you can report potential bugs. We've got suggestions that you can share to us how you think a feature should work. And then if you're interested in working on Glimesh, and we don't normally include this, and I don't know why, if you want to help make what we're making, well, guess what? Our entire team is volunteers. They're people who are spending their nights and weekends working on this project because it's something they believe in. And they started out very much like you, just attending team meetings, learning about the project, and then one day they decided they want to help out. We've got a how to contribute channel, which talks about the various channels that we have, things like dev, design, business, product translations, and it shows you how you can contribute. If you can't dev, maybe you can design. If you can't design, maybe you can help build the product. If you can't do the product, Discord crashed, bye-bye. Maybe you want to build a third-party application, all sorts of stuff that you could do. It just starts with, some initiative. All right, so that's it. As always, thank you all for being here. What we're going to do next is take any kind of questions in chat, but I'll be answering them alone because Discord is down. So thank you, everyone. Good night and good luck.